Alright, so in the last video we worked on making some molds, and in this one we are going to make a grindstone. And first thing I need to do is make some long rods, and I knew that was going to happen. So I'm going to make a chisel here. Now that I have steel, I can make a better... Oh, never mind, I already made a steel chisel. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is replace this mold that we already have on here. Well, we're going to put this one on this side, actually. We're going to throw 4 pieces of steel in here, and we are going to make some long steel rods to make our grindstone. Now you'll notice from last episode to this episode, I'm still using the Invar burning box, and the temperature is going up a lot slower with the steel in there than it was completely full of ceramic. And that is due to the density of the materials that we're cooking. The more dense the material, the slower it cooks. So depending on the crucible material, the material being cooked, and the burning box that you're heating it with, depends on how fast you're actually going to go up in temperature. So if you're cooking something like iridium or osmium, which is very dense, you don't want to try to do it with like a lead or Invar burning box, because it'll literally go up like 1 degree per second. You also don't want to do it in like a tungsten crucible with anything less than like a dense steel burning box, because tungsten is very, very dense. Iridium or osmium is super dense, so they will still go up really slow if you're using a tungsten crucible. That's why I suggest when you're doing anything that can go in a ceramic crucible, use a ceramic crucible, because it will waste less of your heat in heating up the crucible itself than if you're using, say, tantalum or molybdenum or niobium or tungsten. I actually do not anymore use tungsten crucibles. I only use tantalum crucibles. Tantalum is just a hair less than tungsten, but it will cook anything, including tungsten, other than adamantium, but nothing can cook adamantium. And adamantium isn't available right now unless you have another mod, so it's not a problem. So this is going to take a little bit to get up there, but like I said, it's good that it goes slow, because then you have plenty of time to do the pouring and put something else in if you need to. And like last time, I'm going to keep a gold plate on me, and that will give me something to pull the heat out. Now this is probably going to go over what I need, since I put in coal. I should probably use lignite or something like that, since I'm at 1600. But since I have my gold to eat up the heat, it's not a real big deal. Because like I said, lead or gold, great things to throw in. Lead is actually better than gold in multiple ways. One, it takes less heat to actually be able to pour it back out, and there are less things that it can alloy with. You don't want to throw in gold if you have copper in there, because then you're going to end up with rose gold. You don't want to throw it in there if you have silver, then it'll turn into electrum. If you're doing anything iron, you should be fine. Just don't use lead at very high temps. Get these out of here. Well, it depends on how high a temp are you talking. lead has got a pretty good temperature on it. Let's see, what is lead? Oh, that's my steel one. Oh, 2,000? Is it really that high? Or that low? I thought lead was lower than that. And you can tell I have a little listening party today. Oh yeah, it is 2022. So I never realized that. But usually by the time I'm melting things much over 2,000, I have a thermometer and I'm using liquid. Steel is about the only thing I do that's this high. Oh wow, look at that. I'm actually using so much. Damn it, I just about killed myself. It's just a bad thing with not having a rubber suit. I'm so used to using it that I just pull things out and not even think about it. Alright. Always have your pincers in your hand and ready. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself, dummy. Okay, so now that we have that, and yes, I'm not going to watch that crucible right now. It should be fine. We're going to make 3 double plates. We need the 4 rods here, and then a regular rod at the top, and wrench in the middle, and that makes a grindstone. We're going to set that right there. Okay, it's out of temperature. It's out of heat. Good. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to throw 3 more of this steel in here. And heat that up. And we're actually going to take the plate mold off this time. Which you can do all molds by hand. You do not need any tools to do them. But if you use a construction pickaxe is an automatic magnetic tool like the wrench is, and it will come right back to your hand. You will not have to worry about it popping into the crucible if you use a construction pickaxe. Construction pickaxe, for anybody that doesn't know, will only pick up blocks that have been placed by a player, not world generated blocks. And it will break them faster than if they were broke with a regular pickaxe of the same material. Yes, that is very convenient. It's also great for like if you're doing a building project and you're having to put out like you're making a bridge underneath you that you're going to end up having to break out to put other materials to the left or right or whatever of it. It is very nice for that. Because then it comes right to your hand. You don't have to worry about losing all the material on the ground. No, it will not break dirt and stuff. It'll only break things that a pickaxe can break. It's still a pickaxe. And no, there is no construction shovel. I knew he was going to say that before I even said it. You use cobblestone for building, not dirt. I better put 1 more of these in here since that gold is still in there. Well, if you've seen one of his houses, it was half dirt because he ran out of cobble. Alright, just about time to get the gold out. And then we can get our pickaxe done. Actually, I'm going to let that go for a second. So one thing you need on the grindstone is sandstone. Just plop her in there like that. One sandstone will last for 4 grinds. Now you can use the grindstone for things like rods, but I prefer to pour them. The main use for it is cleaning the mold markings off of your tools, which is what we're getting ready to do right now. I'm going to grab one of these tiny dusts I have of gold to throw in after I pull this out of here. Pickaxe will still use 3 units of material. You can also make stone pickaxes this way if you just throw in cobblestone or stone dust. Same with hammerheads. If you want to use stone hammers and you don't have a lot of rocks, you can make a hammerhead and pour stone hammers. So great use for all your excess stone dust you have sitting around. You just pour a bunch of stone hammerheads, and if you like stone pickaxes, well, you make them too. So pour that, throw that in, and that's not going to go low enough, so let's grab 2 more, throw them in here. Hopefully that'll be low enough to keep that from getting up to being over temperature. So you'll see now we have a raw steel pickaxe head. We rub it on here for a minute, and we end up with a steel pickaxe head and a tiny pile of steel dust, which you will get 90% of the time. So it's not guaranteed, but it's really close to it. And this thing does not want to shut off. Got a little bit more heat in there than I thought I did. There we go, 1700, you'll be good for a little bit. And let's see. What else do I have in there in case? Just in case, you know. Forget it. We'll just throw a gold ingot in now, or a gold plate in. I gotta get these turned into ingots anyways. There you go. That'll keep you happy for a little bit. Alright, so there is our pickaxe from our grindstone. Much better than using the material from your wrench or your hammer and your file to make them. You can pour a bunch of them and leave them stacked in your inventory and put the handles on them when you get done. Just make sure you grind them all down first, because it's nothing worse than taking 16 pickaxes and 16 sticks down in the mine and then realize when you get down there and your pickaxe breaks that you forgot to take the molding marks off of it, and those pickaxes are useless. And you have to come all the way back to your base anyways. So, have a good one, guys.